Hi guys! Today I wanted to take some time to do a little bit of Soutache. I have found a link on Sina's channel, which is honeybeads1, where she actually got a package of free beads from Preciosa. Now that's really cool. I will leave the link underneath the video for that. And the basic thing is they give beads away, free, yes, free, for those that say something nice about Preciosa. So I took her video and I commented on it and say, well, I never used Preciosa, so I don't really have anything nice to say about it. And then I copied that on their Facebook page profile. So 2 days ago I got a package in the mail from Preciosa, and there were 2 little boxes of beads in there. Now these are sort of a connector beads. They are bigger on the top and they're a little thinner in the middle. And they're very pretty, especially the black one. And these are glass beads. So I got these from Preciosa. And with these beads, I guess they must have seen that I did Soutache. They sent me a tutorial on what to do with these beads. So, it's very hard to figure it out from the pictures on what to do. And you will need Soutache because that didn't come along. But this is maybe a better picture of how the picture, what the beads look like. They're pellet press beads. And this is the article number, 1110139. And the size is 4 by 6. So this is what the beads look like. And they are used to put in between the Soutache. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to try that. So yesterday I've been playing and I got this. Now, I think this is a little bit boring, so I would like to spice it up a little bit more later, but I was just playing with it and it was pretty dark, so I think I can do a little bit better today. I also got like a, well, what's this? A little bit of commercial stuff. So to show me what else they got and what they use them for, you know, and they got sort of dagger, I guess. Not really sure what they are. But, yeah, so I got some free beads. And I suggest everybody just go to Sina's link and get some free beads, I would say. So, at least some tester beads. You also can get a whole package of 1 kilo beads if they pick you. And every month they pick somebody to send a kilo beads to. So Sina got first she got testers, and then she received a kilo because they picked her for that month. So it's pretty cool. So I'm going to use the black ones now because I think they're prettier. And I'm going to show you how to do this pattern that is in here. But we're also going to change this pattern because I really don't like the way they added the clasp. So I'm going to change that, and I want that. I don't think this is wide enough. I think this is kind of a little bit boring, you know. I want it a little bit wider, so I'm going to do a second row behind this and add some more seed beads in there. But that would be part 2. This would be part 1 because I think when I show you how this pattern works, you'll be busy with it pretty much all day. So let's get started. You need your Soutache, of course, and well, what will go well with that? I got some stiff Soutache, which I like to use because everything looks more curved. And I got some rayon Soutache. And what color shall we use with that? Let's go Bollywood. Get some Bollywood colors there. And that would be that one. And this one. Oh my god, it's a mess. Let me put everything aside for a second. This blue one I got on eBay. And as you can see, it's really stiff. And this white one is rayon. And as you can see, it's not so stiff. I can't keep that straight. That kind of falls down, as you can see. But this, you can turn that every way, and that's really stiff. So it's very nice to have something shiny and have it like in the middle of it. So I got some dark blue here, And what else can we use? We got black, we got yellow. That's too dark. Get some red in there. And this is also one of the stiffer braids. So you got a stiff braid, and a very smooth, slippery braid in between the middle of it. I think that will work. I think that's going to be cool. Or should we take maybe purple? Go nuts. Or maybe that one. It's very hard. I'm very bad with colors. Maybe those? Nah. We're gonna go Bollywood, so let's go nuts with the colors. So, that's basically what I got. I got like 3 packages. One is very slippery rayon. And I got stuff that came from Poland, which is like not as slippery as the rayon, almost as shiny as the rayon, but a little stiffer. So you can actually use 2 of these colors with 1 of these. I'm going to start off with a thread that goes from my hand to my right shoulder. I think that will be enough. I'm pretty sure that will be enough. And there'll probably be some left over, so I will add how much you exactly need. You might need a little less. But Soutache is not too expensive, so I'm not too worried about that. But I'm not too worried about wasting it, because really nothing gets wasted. I always save my little parts also. So, putting that aside, now I'm going to measure these 2 other colors by the yellow one. And if you wonder where those scissors came from, well, those are actually fabric scissors. I really needed those, especially when I do the back on the Soutache, and I need to cut through my fabric. So I figured it was about time to get a decent pair of scissors. There, 3 parts of Soutache. Put these away. And we're gonna start. And it basically doesn't matter if you start with blue on the bottom or red on the bottom, or just as long as the yellow is in the middle, because that one is the slippery one, but also the shiny one. So I'm gonna leave a considerable amount of till, because I want to put a different kind of clasp on there. And what I'm using for this actually is a tulip needle, size 11. And I think because the colors are pretty dark, I'll go with the dark Fireline. And this I got from the fishing store. This is smoke. I'm going to take about an arm span wide, no more, because it's very hard to work with a long thread with the Soutache. I've noticed that. And I think I'm going to change beading pads so you can see my black thread. Ta-da! That's how quickly that works. Okay, making sure that these are about the same size at the end. Right there. Gotta put the yellow in the middle. Gonna lay that down for a second. I need a knot. And it's very thin thread, so I think I will double knot at the end. Hope to get my 2 knots on top of each other. That would be really nice. There. Picking it up, and we're going to start with the inside. And with the Soutache it's like this. The needle needs to go through from the line. Let me see if I can zoom you in just a little bit. There. Needle needs to go in through the line and come out in the line, right in the middle. And let's hope that the yellow one is also in the middle, because you got your fingers on there, got everything straightened out. Stick back and you just do the little stitches on the top, because this is where your thread will show. It doesn't matter so much on the inside, but it will show on the outside. So you got to do little stitches on the outside. You just go in again. And I can feel I can't get through, so that means I'm not in the middle. And you got to do it really gently. And then you can feel if you're in there or not. And you got to double check, because sometimes you will go through two, and then you're missing the last one. So it's basically like a knife going through butter, really smoothly. And you gotta make sure that you don't have any thread left over on the top, so it's like a little loop, you know, you gotta make sure, but don't pull too tight, because if you pull too tight, then everything doesn't look in order anymore either. Can't get it nicely and nicely rounded up. So I'm just going to I'm basically going straight. May not look like I'm going straight, but I'm going straight. About here. And what I like to do is I like to pre-curve, and these beads, just put one in there and you will see how big your loop needs to be. So it's not that big. And when you do a couple of those loops, you'll automatically get the feel for it, how big that loop needs to be. Let me go back. You gotta make sure that your threads stay together, very important. And it's really nice, that stiff Soutache is really nice. As you can see, it holds everything in place, especially the slippery yellow in between. Okay. I'm going to stick it back in now. And these beads have the hole right in the middle. So just pick it up. And where your thread ended, just go straight to the other side. And I'll close that up. Position your bead, find the hole, and just make sure that you hold it really tight like this now, so you can stick it straight through to the other side and it's in position. Now we're going to just work our way down. Out. And I go diagonal because, you know, I don't want to come out in front of the, or I don't want to bump into that bead, so I'm just going to go like that. And here I'll go straight up again. Diagonal again. And straight up again. Now you hold the two pieces together. Let me get that thread down and through. thread. Make sure that's not in there, because this is, you're going to cut this off later on when everything is connected. So just keep them together, all 6 of them now. And go to the other side. And you can also do this a little bit diagonal, but make sure that you go through all 6 of them and that you come out correctly. And you go down, and now we're just going to close that up a little bit, back up, back down, a little bit more straight this time, and back up. And 4 should be enough to hold that close. But if not, you can always do 2 more. I'm going to turn that a bit. Turn that around. Get rid of this end cord. Get rid of the end now, because everything is closed up. There, it won't bother you anymore. And now you just turn it around and start making that beginning of the circle. Go up. Go down. And then you just make that second loop. Gotta hold it correctly. And you still have time to position where you want that loop exactly, where you want that bead. And the first 2 are a little bit difficult, but when you do the 3rd bead, then you have something to hold on to with that bead. But I'll show you that later. So going down, going up, going down, going up again, and I'm going straight back now to add my next bead. And I'm going to stick that through, straight through all the other 6 right here. Make sure they're positioned right. Get that bead in there good. And stick it back. Diagonal, coming out in front of the bead. Going straight up. Diagonal. straight up. Now push it back and come on out on the other side under the bead. 1, 2, close this up a bit, this gap. 2, 3, and 4. Turn it around and let's start with the next one. Working your way up. And you need to be about on that same level as this one, of course. So, going back. Making that round in there, that curve. Checking if you're about on that same level. And then you turn it around. Make that loop. In. Out. In again, diagonal. Straight. And how can you see you need to turn back? Well, you need to be in a straight line with the other bead that's right here. So, going in. Picking up a bead. Going into 3 and coming up out in the middle. But if you want to check if you're in the right place, all you have to do is see if you can push your bead right here next into the next one. But I'm not going to do that, because then you have to get it out again too. So going straight to the other side, going up, pull that in, going back, curve that correctly, and now you got to work your way down again. Diagonal. Straight. And diagonal. Straight. Push through. Straight. Coming out under that bead. 1. 2. Closing it up a bit more. 3, and 4. And turn it around again. Next one. A little bit of pre-curving. Trying to get that in that same height as this one. And you got to make sure that these braids stay right next to each other. That's why you need to put your fingers on top of there, else they will move. Okay, making the next loop. Maybe a little higher. Go down. And up. And down. A little bit diagonal again. Straight up. I think that's about it. Straight down. Gotta get right there where that straight line is to that other bead. So I need to move over a little bit. Right there. And then get my next bead. Go in here. And come on out in between. And if this is not connected correctly, just push on through. All the way through the bead and in here. And just come on back that way. One word of caution, also make sure that your thread is not twisted around the bead. It happened to me a couple of times. Wonder what was going on. Back in there to the other side. And diagonal. Straight. Diagonal. And straight. Push on through to the other side and come on out underneath that bead. Well, I guess that was a little bit diagonal, but that doesn't really matter. I can go straight back now. 1, 2. Three. 4. If not, just do it one more time up and down and then you'll be okay. So, go in for the next one. I think that's pretty simple how that works, isn't it? Get that curve about the same height, pre-curving it a little bit. Turning it around, making that loop ready. In and out and diagonal, so I can get to that place where I want to be. Straight. And in and bead and right here, that straight line, pull that in, position the bead where you want it, just move it up a little bit. Or move it down, just check. Back in there. And find the hole, stick on through to the other side. And diagonal, straight, and stick it on through underneath that bead. 1, 2, 'Gotta make sure you go through all of them. 3, and 4. And now you turn it around again and start pre-curving. I think this is a little bit too small. It should have been a little bit more wider. But, you know, it's handwork. What do you want? And to measure the size of what the bracelet length should be is you go around and you measure, and you need about this much room, because we're going to do a macrame knot. So don't close it up all the way, just leave like that much space in between. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 loops here. I'll probably make it a 12th just to come out on the other side, which would be the best thing, to have like threads on the upside and one on the downside. So I suggest you do that too, because this is not finished yet. There will be a second part to this video, but right now I first need to finish all this up so I can show you what else I had planned for this bracelet. So guys, I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you for part 2. Bye bye.